What's up, guys? Welcome to the new Yukon Phil review table. It's a $40 full table from Target, but it's here. So expect to start seeing this view a lot more when it comes to reviews, when it comes to 60-second reviews, that sort of thing. Anyway, you don't care about that. What you do care about is the top 10 worst figure pickups of the year by me. So, let's get to it. By the way, welcome to the channel. I'm Yukon Phil. It's great to see everybody. Hope you guys are having a good day. This is the first of two top 10 lists I'm going to do, and I got to tell you, these are my most anticipated videos all year. So I'm really excited for this. So let's go over the criteria. We're not going to ramble here. We're going to keep this short and sweet because we got a lot to cover here. We got a lot of bad figures to look at, so let's do it. All right, here's the criteria. 5 categories. 5 lines I collect. Star Wars Black Series. Number 1. Transformers. Now this can be either Masterpiece or, the War for Cybertron, Legacy, that sort of thing. You guys know what I collect. I don't need to spell that out. DC Multiverse. That's pretty self-explanatory. That's category number 3. Category number 4 is a little more shady. That's TMNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That can include Super 7. It can include NECA. And it can include Playmates. All those things. It's all fair game. Category number 5 is Masters of the Universe Revelation. I don't collect Origins really, so we're going to leave it at that. So here we go. Without further ado, let's get to some honorable mentions that I have. One honorable mention from each. And the way it's also going to go is there's going to be 2 worst figures from each category, which will get us our 10. If you guys know what 5 times 2 is, it's 10. So lesson for you guys. But anyway, let's get to the top 5 honorable mentions, 1 from each category. Let's take a look at these really not good figures. Here we go. The honorable mentions for my worst figures of the year. And I'm going to get some flack for this, I bet. So let's get right down to it. This is going to be a longer video. We don't want to bumble. We don't want to stumble. Let's get it going. Leading off as my honorable mention for worst figure of the year that I've picked up, the Duke Thomas Batman. There's reasoning behind this. I'm going to put some glamour shots in this as I'm talking. That way you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about, just because we're a little far from the camera. I was actually excited about this figure. I thought this figure was going to be great. I thought that he had a lot of potential, but he has a closed fist. He has a guitar axe, and how's he going to play the guitar with a closed fist? He's extremely tight joints. Let's say that. His joints are extremely tight. He doesn't move well. I nearly broke his elbow trying to bend it, and his ankles are super weak. So just not a great effort by Todd McFarlane. So honorable mention. You didn't make the cut, man, but you're close. Let's go ahead and set him aside. All right. Now I've been pumping these up. So for me, it was very difficult to get any kind of list for TMNT, to be honest with you guys. TMNT is one of my favorite lines and very difficult. But what we're going to do, honorable mention, is going to go to the Super 7 Mutagen Man, mostly due to articulation. Articulation on this guy is terrible. He is very statuesque. Doesn't really feel as an ultimate with the accessories he comes with. Comes with this gun right here, but also just a lot of junk that's not very useful. But there you go. Mutagen Man. I think he looks good. The colors are very dull and plain too. I wish there was a little bit more coloring to him. Like I said, that doesn't mean this is a bad figure. $25 on Amazon. I still highly recommend this figure, but he's going to be the honorable mention for TMNT. All right, now, this is probably going to cause some problems. Honorable mention for Star Wars Black Series. Guys, you know I don't like this figure. Star Wars Black Series Deluxe. And there's our problem. Boba Fett from Book of Boba Fett. The whole problem with this thing is deluxe. This is not a deluxe figure. This should never be a deluxe figure. And that's not really the figure's fault. The figure itself, main problem is the head sculpt. The white on his head, it's terrible. It's not a good head sculpt. Other than that, I think the colors are okay. The articulation's fine, but it's hard to pick a Black Series figure that's really bad. And this one irked me from the beginning, and it still irks me now. So he's going to be the honorable mention for Star Wars Black Series. All right, this one barely made the cut. He definitely could have been in the top 2 for Transformers for worst figure of the year. But I'm going to go ahead and give him a pass because he's a Dinobot. But this is Sludge. And this figure's got a lot of problems. Wings falling off. These wings right here fall off a lot. You can see how flimsy his hip joints are. There is an upgrade kit, if you guys don't know, to improve that. Transformation is not good. These feet stick out in transformation under his belly. It doesn't look good. Definitely the worst of the Dinobots, and I'm just not super happy paying $55 for a figure that takes not 1, but 2 upgrade kits to get it better, which ends up being well over $100 figure for this guy. Not worth it. He barely made the cut, guys. And last but definitely not least, Trapjaw for Masters. I think we all know why. What in the world, and you're going to see a glamour shot with this, what in the world is that? Trapjaw does not have a lower jaw there, Mattel. I don't know if you know that, but he does not have a lower jaw. Price point was way off too. He should have never been a deluxe. Nobody's going to use that maroon tunic that he comes with, and just not a solid effort on pricing, not a solid effort on execution of the figure, not understanding the origins of the figure. So there you go. There's the honorable mentions. Let's go ahead and get down to the main group of 10. All right, guys, here they are. Yukon Phil's top 10 worst figures of the year. We're going to go in order here. Actually, a very difficult list to compile. I thought it would be easier, but usually if I get a bad figure, I sell it. So there you go. So let's get going right now. Coming in, if I have to pick out of these figures, which is the least worst out of all these figures, but still made the cut, I'm going to choose the Republic Sentry Droid. And this is a tough one for me to put on this list, but the main reason is he falls all the damn time. He's taken out multiple of my collection, and I mean, he's knocked over 50 figures at one point. I think definitely needs some more paint. He needs a wash. He's just very plain. I think the sculpt's good. I think the articulation's pretty good, but he suffers from being he will not stand. Even with a stand, he will not stand. So he's going to be number 10 on my list. So there we go. Number 10, the Republic Sentry Droid. Number 9, let's see here. Now, I'm actually doing this as we go. I didn't actually have this list even in my mind. So number 9, we're going to go with the Azrael Armor Batman. And it pains me to even have him on this list because I was looking so forward to him. But again, the same kind of thing as the Republic Sentry Droid. Ankles. I can barely get him. I'm surprised he stood this long. But the figure itself, the look of it is great. But there's just some weird stuff going on with this one when it comes with the cape, when it comes to the articulation. And, you got to be careful posing him, too, because he's got a lot of sharp blades and that sort of thing on him. And I'm just not crazy about him. He's definitely my second worst DC figure of the year, guys. So he's number 9. Number 8. All right, number 8 is going to be Skelegod. I love the way this figure looks. Again, this is going to be a common theme with this list. I love the way he looks. I think he's cool as hell. I love the greens and everything else that he comes with, but he just does not stand. He's just terrible at standing. I've actually had to put him on a NECA stand, one of the, what are they called? One of the ones that's got the grabber on it, and he still falls at times. So that's really it. I think it's a good figure. There is some really cool stuff with it aesthetically, but his articulation's not great. I think just the design choices that Mattel made on some of this guy is not great. So I don't think he's the worst figure ever, but Masters, it was tough to come up with this list. So he's going to be number 8 for me, guys. We're going to see if he actually stands. So if you hear a crash, that's probably what it was. So we're just going to lay him down. I don't trust him. We're going to lay him down. All right, let's see where we're at here. We're at Transformers. We're at Masters. All right, so what are we at here? Number 6, right? Number 6? 1, 2, 3. Yes, number 6. Number 6 worst for me is going to be the RED Bumblebee. I know a lot of you guys are not into the REDs and that sort of thing. I am. I like the REDs. I think they look good. But the main thing this figure suffers from is he's as big as Optimus Prime. There's no scaling in this line at all. That, and I just don't think he's proportionally correct at all. I don't think his proportions are good. His feet look really, really bad. The head sculpt's fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But with these RED figures too, you've got to be really careful posing them because their joints are extremely weak. And I've almost broke him a couple times just lifting his arm. So not my favorite figure. Definitely Transformers. Very difficult to come up with this list for Transformers. There are so many good offerings this year, but definitely that's one of the worst. All right, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more left. So let's see what we got now. We're gonna go with Andra next. Andra's not a terrible figure. Very difficult to pose. I do like it that she has swappable head sculpts, but I hate that cape. You can see she doesn't actually even have her cape. Terrible cape. I don't like it at all. I don't like that she didn't come with another weapon. I don't know if she had a weapon in the series. If she did, then I can understand why she didn't. But just not my favorite figure. It's just not one that I think is great. And one of the top few figures just fell. So there you go with that. I'm not going to edit that. But there you go. There's Andra. And I'm just not crazy about it, guys. It's just not one of my favorite figures. So that was number 6. Sorry about that. Bumblebee was number 7. So here we go. Top 5 now, guys. All right, top 5. So we're going to go with number 4. We're going to do Raph. BSTX and Raph. This is one of the very first figures I actually reviewed on this channel. Honestly enough, I think it might have been the first. There's a lot wrong with this figure. For one, he falls apart. For 2, his leg is just about ready to fall off. For 3, loyal subjects didn't do their homework at all where his sides go. Why does he have holsters in the back? And then his articulation doesn't add up to what they say on the packaging. I don't count 30 points of articulation here. So I feel like I was duped on this figure for sure. His size are like paper. They move around all over the place. They're just not solid. And he's cheap, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. All these best action figures are cheap. And you got to know that going into it. I know I've got more over there in the back. I do like his look. Kyle Peterson said it best, when you're buying these are really like media type turtles. You know, the stuff you would see on the cereal box and that sort of thing. So that I do like about him. But he's just not a good action figure, guys. So he is going to be number 5 on the list. And you can see most of these figures don't have stands. We've got a mess over here. All right, now we're getting the nitty gritty here, people. Coming in at number 4, right next to his brother, is going to be Leo. Again, Leo's swords, his katanas, do not fit in his hands at all. You can see I can't even get the back piece with his sheaths for his swords onto him because it's a complete mismatch. When I was actually trying to get his head off, the entire body popped off. So that's a problem. If Toy Company gives you figures and you're going to be switching things out and the whole body pops off, that's a problem. So Leonardo from the Best Action series is number 4. Cannot say I will ever recommend that figure to anyone. All right, so now let's move these guys up. We're in the nitty gritty here, guys. All right. So number 3, I'm going to give it to Wheelie. That this is a $12 figure is sickening to me. This is not a good figure. It's not a good transformation. I actually think the Wheelie that came with Grimlock in the Studio series was better. It's just not a good figure, guys. His transformation is stupid. He's got his feet sticking out from the back of the car when you transform him. That he's $12 is just shocking to me. I just kind of think he's a piece of crap. He's fallen apart on me as well and just doesn't have a good look. He doesn't look like Wheelie to me. I think they kind of, I'm looking at him again, I think they kind of messed up the likeness a little bit, but just, I'm not a fan of this figure. I never will be. But he's going to be number 3 on my list for worst figure of the year, Studio Series Wheelie. All right, so here we go. Top 2 right here. We've got Galen Erso and we've got Scarecrow. Number 2 is going to be Galen Erso. Galen Erso, I mean, we waited for over a year on pre-orders for this figure. And this is what we got. and we got him for 26 bucks. He comes with everything shown here. He comes with the little Death Star plans, and that's it. The likeness is not Max Middleton at all to me. I don't read that at all. I think the paint is sloppy. He's got blotches all over the place to me. Articulation's stupid. It makes no sense. He has a trigger finger. Why does he have a trigger finger? I have no idea. And the main thing is the likeness. The likeness is horrible. That this was a figure we waited for a year, and a figure that was a Target exclusive is absolutely shocking to me and pathetic. He is my worst Black Series figure by a mile. It's not even close, guys. So there you go. Galen Erso, number 2. That leaves us with our winner. The absolute worst figure I picked up this year. More fallers. The Scarecrow. I mean, I don't know what the hell this is. I honestly don't know. What in the world is this? Can somebody, guys, get in the comments. Can somebody explain what this is to me? Is it supposed to be branches? If it's branches, why are they green? And like a light lime green at that. He's got 1, 2, 3 layers of rubber plastic all over him. You cannot pose this guy at all. And when you can, he has the skinniest legs out of any McFarlane figure, any figure this size in my entire collection. It's a stupid look. I understand it comes from the comic books, but it was not resonated correctly at all in figure form. He looks stupid. He moves stupid. It's stupid that he has this much plastic in the way and you can't pose him. I mean, this is the best pose. We can get this arm up okay. This arm is completely nearly hindered by all this plastic. And it's just a bad figure, guys. Scarecrow from DC Multiverse is my worst figure of the year. Don't like him. He'll stay with me for now because I don't think I'll get any money for him. But there you go. This pile right here is the worst of the worst when it comes to my collection. And that's it. That's a wrap. This is a negative video. This is a very negative video. But that's what we get when we're talking about worst figure pickups. And this is kind of what we got to do. So, all negativity aside, next video, which I'm going to shoot right after this, is going to be my top 10 pickups of the year. The best ones, the ones I love the most. That list is going to be even harder to make than this list. So, there you go. There's the list. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed all the crummy figures I showed you. It's not exactly a fun thing to do, talk badly about someone's time and effort, but that's the way it goes. Enough rambling on. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like. If you like what you see, if you want to see the next one, give it a subscribe. Can't thank you guys enough for watching, and I'll see you on the next one for the top 10 list. You guys have a good one. Later.